Hi guys, welcome to the Freshwater Purls Knitting Podcast. If this is your first time viewing, thank you so much for clicking on the play button, and I hope you come back for more. If you are returning, thank you so much for sticking with me as I try to figure this out, and I feel like I'm pretty awkward, so thank you for enduring it. And thank you also for some of my real life friends who, lots of them aren't knitters, who are finding me on Instagram and figuring out that I have a podcast. Thank you guys for not harassing me for doing this because I'm really having a lot of fun with it. But I know it can seem weird to people who aren't knitters, so thank you so much for, I don't know, not teasing me about it and being encouraging. So, but yeah, thank you for coming. This is a knitting podcast primarily. I might have a little spinning here and there, but mostly knitting. And we have just started. I think this is my third episode, so you haven't missed much. If you have just found me, you can go back and watch the previous episodes for a little bit of an introduction and all that stuff. So I wanted to just kind of start off by letting a person who viewed the recipe, the podcast last week. I'm not sure of her name, but I do know your YouTube username is All Dressed. My husband is going to try to insert a video clip of me wearing the homestead shawl and kind of spinning so you get more different angles with that. So I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking I will put the clip at the end, near the end, just so you know. I just wanted you to know it's going to be there, so you can fast forward to the very end and you will find it. I also wanted you guys to know that last episode I told you that I would be talking about or having some furry friends with me. They are not with me today. I simply haven't had, I haven't been able to find a good time with really great lighting to podcast, and so my furry friends tonight are not able to visit the podcast, but they will be here next week hopefully. And I am trying to make this a weekly podcast. Like I said, it's mostly just trying to figure out a time when it works, when my kids are all asleep or gone and everybody in the house is away, so or able to go away. It's kind of difficult with 3 kids and a husband and stuff, so yes, so anyway, look for me weekly, but it might end up being every week and a half, kind of like this one. Yeah, so yes, so let's get right into it. Let's start with my finished objects. I will start with the one that you have seen before. I finished what was it called? The Little Fair Isle Hat by Purls Soho. You can see it. I made this out of Karen's Simply Soft for my daughter, and this is, I don't know, it's like I don't know what it's called, maybe like a blush pink or something, and I think this was their like stripes, something like that. So yeah, so like I said, this was by Purls Soho. I don't remember what size needles I knit these on. I think I said in the last episode, I believe maybe size 7s, Haya sharps, maybe. It used to have a pom-pom, as you can see, the last remnant of the pom-pom, but my daughter found it at church, and the poor person who was doing church, Alyssa, she said that my daughter got it and just ripped all the strings off the pom-pom, and there was just yarn everywhere, pom-pom yarn everywhere, and if you've ever made a pom-pom, you know how fun that is to pick up, so yes, but I love this hat, and she loves it. So again, this is the Little Fair Isle Hat by Purls Soho. And this was a really fun and quick knit. After that, my son thought that he needed a hat. So I had to quickly make this up. This is his Minecraft hat. And I don't even think this made it to Instagram. It was a really quick knit. I just used... You know what? Actually, somebody on Instagram, oh man, I can't remember her name. I should have looked. I was traveling when I cast this on, and I posted on Instagram that I couldn't figure out how many stitches to cast on for a 6-year-old boy. So she recommended Sorry guys, I got a phone call, so I'm hoping that I can manage to somehow edit this so it goes together. Anyway, the person on Instagram recommended I cast on 80 stitches, which I did, and it worked, and it fits them great. I used the little Minecraft creepers. If you guys have Minecraft fans in your house, or if you are a Minecraft fan, I used, let's see, it's called the Creeper Hat Chart by Jan. Oh no, I can't even read my own writing. Jan Batter, maybe? I will link it in the show notes. But so I just used that pattern. It's a free chart. I believe it's like a 7-stitch chart. So it was very, very enjoyable. And that is done. And those are actually my only finished objects this week. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I cast on a lot of things this week, and I don't know if that was very smart thinking of me. So I will move right into works in progress, and I'm just going to show you guys my mug because I need to have a sip of tea. And I'm drinking the same tea that I had last time, the Hot Cinnamon Sunset by Harney & Sons. It's so good. This is a Peter Rabbit mug. Yes, so there's that. It's really awkward to drink tea on camera. Anyway, so I cast on a lot of things. So I'm going to start with things that you maybe have seen. Okay, I'll show you the Pure Joy, but I honestly didn't get very much work done on it. Oh no, I am a mid-row. Shoot. Okay, so I'll show you anyway. I did the other eyelet row. Yeah. So my problem is, can you see it? I don't know. Sorry, I'm still figuring this out too. The thing that's making me kind of hold back on finishing this, or making it a priority, is that I'm not sure I like my yarn choice anymore. Which I know is bad because I hate pulling back, and so I'm considering two things. Either I frog it, I guess 3 things. I frog it and then start over with a contrasting color that's more contrasting. The thing is, I don't know if originally I wanted the navy. Of course, my Christmas tree is like making the navy even more weird. Anyway, I wanted the navy for the eyelet rows and then the last wedge, because I just didn't feel like having very much of a contrast, I guess. But now I'm just wondering if it looks weird. I don't know. I still love my main color. I love this purple, blue, green thing. But I just don't know if I should keep the navy. What do you guys think? Should I start over, do it in a different color? And I was thinking like a brighter pink. Or should I keep going in the blue? Or is this weird if I just start going with a contrast at the next eyelet row? What do you guys think? I don't know. If you feel like commenting in the YouTube feed or the Ravelry group, please let me know what you think and be honest. So that's that. It didn't get very much love, but I feel good about it for how I feel about it, I guess. Okay, so my next thing that I got a little bit of work on, and I need to start using my progress keepers so you guys can actually see. I believe when I showed you this last time, sorry, my hands were right there. I think when I showed you my stripy sock, I had just gotten up to the toe, so I did get a little work done on this. I worked on it a lot in church, and it's nice to have something really simple. I have a hard time because I really like having the one sock on the needles because it's less fidgety, but I love having 2 socks going so that they're done at once. And a friend of mine saw the podcast last time and heard me say something about second sock syndrome, and she's not a knitter, and it's a real thing. It's a real problem, second sock syndrome. So I don't know. I might be rethinking how I knit my socks, but I do have terrible second sock syndrome. So yeah, those are those are very fun. I love them. And they're knit, I didn't tell you guys, for those of you who haven't. Oh my goodness. And I'm going everywhere. This is just knit with my yarn. Just a self-striping. And the colors are pretty accurate on that. So, there's that. Okay, am I still, oops, sorry. My sun's solar system there. Okay. Okay, my next one is kind of an acquisition as well. I wonder if I should wait. Okay, I'm going to show you a different one I have so that the acquisitions can go into that. So, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It's going everywhere. Okay. Okay, the story behind this work in progress is so a really good friend of mine, we homeschool together and we do a lot of stuff with our kids together. They were over visiting, and her daughter, who is my middle child's age, she's 3. Was she 3, Christy? Or 4? She's 3 or very, very young 4. Anyway, she came up to me and asked me, she was like, Hope, can you make me a dinosaur? And so, of course, when a little girl asks you to make something, you are like freaking out because you're so excited that somebody thinks it's cool. So I cast on for the Basil the Boogie Woogie Brontosaurus. And I don't have a picture of it. I'm so sorry. I will do that next time. But if you've ever seen it, it's by Rebecca Danger, who is awesome at making knit. Like I've made some of her knit monsters before. Her patterns are really fun and they go really quickly. So here is Basil's body. You can see it. And she requested these colors. So I asked her mom to ask her what color she likes. So this is Basil's body, and it's just out of green and blue. And this is, I believe this is Vanna's Choice. You can see the green and the blue, which I do like for, I didn't keep any of the ball bands, of course, because I wasn't podcasting. But I really like this for softies because it's pretty soft for acrylic. And yeah, so here I go on this. So I'm really excited. I only have a little bit longer to go on this, and then I'll separate or something. I actually haven't read what comes next for that. But I am knitting these on my US marble, or my Knitter's Pride marbles, and they are on the US 5 3.75 millimeters. So this is actually my least favorite needle in the kit, in the set, because, can you see? I don't know. Because I don't know, they're so boring compared to the others. I like them still. They still knit great, but like the other ones are like bright pink, bright orange, blue. So it doesn't matter. I'm still having fun with Basil. So hopefully next time this is a finished object, because I really would like to get this done, because my daughter has requested her own dinosaur as well, of course. She wants one that's pink, blue, and purple, and green, I think. So there's that. Okay, I actually forgot about this too. I just cast on today for a test knit. Sorry, that's probably loud. That I am doing for Ruth of Knitterarium. I hope I said that correctly. I saw her post. So Knitterarium is also a podcast, which you need to check out. She's not going to be in my suggested podcast because I figured since I was talking about her right here, I would just plug it in. But I love her podcast. She knits awesome things. She's a designer. And yeah, so check her out, Knitterarium. So anyway, she had a shawl on her podcast. I believe it was her last episode last week. And I loved it. Like, I saw it and I'm like, I need to knit that. And then it wasn't done. Like, I mean, it was for sure shawl was finished, but the pattern wasn't published. So she said that she was going to be open for testers soon. So of course I have been stalking her since she said that on her podcast. I do that. I stalk designers until they, if I see something, I stalk them until I see something on their Instagram feed or their Ravelry groups or Facebook. it's really kind of messed up. But I have another test that I'm kind of stalking to see when she's going to put it out for testing. Anyway, enough of a tangent. I love Knitterariums. She's calling it Dying by the Light, or sorry, Dying of the Light. And I love it. And I haven't put a picture in it, but you can go check out her Instagram or podcast and see it for sure on there. And you can also find her on Ravelry. I think she's Celtic Knits on Ravelry. I'll post it in the show notes as well. But I'm knitting this with okay, this is a massive ball of yarn. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post pictures of some lace that my mother-in-law gave to me to dye and use. And so I didn't know what to do with it. Then I had an idea. Some great Instagrammers gave me some ideas. But then Ruth's test came out, and I just thought, I want to use that for her test. So I dyed up just a skein of it, and I think it actually might be enough. It's huge. Like, this is one skein that came, and it's fingering weight. It's not like, I don't think it's like lace weight. It's legit. So anyway, I dyed this. It's kind of like a, I don't know. It's not coming out completely true to color there. I'll have to take some pictures on Instagram so you can see it better. But it is a tonal. Really pretty turquoise, green, aquas. But I really like it. And I think it's going to look great in the shawl. And I'm going to pair it with, the contrasting color is going to, oh wow, this is going to be totally blown out. What if I put it on my shirt? I was going to dye it, and then I screwed it up. So I was dyeing a contrast color for this, and it turned, so I thought it was going to be really pretty, but then it turned out to be, I dyed it more purple than I intended, because I wasn't used to dyeing their silk. I don't know, silk must take color differently. So then I felt like it was like a Barney shawl. You know what I mean? I don't know. So anyway, I decided to pair it with this. And I think it's going to look awesome. This is going to be the contrast color. This is just Deborah Norville's Serenity sock. And it's in the soft white color. So it's a really pretty color. And I think it's going to go great with the different tones in here. So, yeah. So anyway, on to the knitting. Actual part. Here it is. This is just the beginning. Like, I am not even, there's probably only like 50 stitches on my needles. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's so much fun because it's like mindless, but it's really like, you know that you're getting somewhere. I don't know. It's also interesting. There's enough interest going on. So I'm knitting these on my Addie lace, and they are 3 millimeters. Sorry, I'm really bad at showing this stuff. So yeah, there's that, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about these in a minute. But yeah, so Dying of the Light shawl. I'm testing this, so you can't get this, but you'll have to look for it, and I'll keep you updated on how I finish. Sorry, there's probably a lot of clicking there. And again, that's by Knitterarium. Okay, my last work in progress. You can see I have cast on way too many things. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna, like, I want to finish these especially by Christmas, but we'll see. These are my Christmas socks. I love them. Okay, sorry, they're all tangled. Here they are. I am knitting, this is the Speckled Space sock pattern by Amanda Stevens, and I'm loving it on this yarn. Sorry, I'm fidgeting a lot. I can't get it to, I'm loving it with this. Oh my goodness. So this yarn is by, let me see, I think I actually have the bell band because I just got it. Tiffany from the Woolen Homestead, also Knitting from the Mitten podcast. She, oh, the camera's right there, sent me this yarn for the Get Your Yarn Wished Granted thing going on Instagram. I had wished for some Knitting from the Mitten yarn because I absolutely love her yarn. I especially love the vintage Christmas yarn, and Tiffany saw it and she sent it to me. So this is the Vintage Christmas by Tiffany at the Woolen Homestead. That's her Etsy shop, but she also has the podcast Knitting from the Mitten. And yeah, so here's the balls of it. So pretty. I love the pattern with it because I wasn't sure how I'd like it because it's with the variegated. But I went and looked at other projects, and don't you guys think the stitches are popping awesomely? Like the color, the green is really cool. Like each time there's this is a free pattern, so I can kind of go with it. Each time there's a slip stitch or cable thing, it just pops the stitch. So I love it. So those are the Speckled Space Socks by Amanda Stevens. And I'm going to be doing these for Candace, her Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast, her knit along, which she's doing the Socks in Space knit along. And you can find it on her Ravelry page, which I'll also link to the show notes in this. But yeah, I'm really excited to be joining up in that. I wasn't expecting to be able to, but because I knew I wanted to knit some Christmas socks. But now that I'm knitting these, I can totally join the knit along. So yes, I'm excited about that. And that kind of brings me into acquisitions because, like I said, these are from Tiffany at the Woolen Homestead. This is the Vintage Christmas colorway. She sent this to me I think it was like 2 days after she said, I'll grant your wish. I got it in the mail. So, and that was right around Thanksgiving too. So if you guys want some fun yarn, you should go check out the Woolen Homestead. And I'll put it up again. Here's a different card. Huh, I can't see. Okay. But yeah, you should totally go check her out. She's also from Michigan, which I don't know if I said that, but I am from Michigan. So that's exciting. I don't think we live very far away, and she actually used to live in Lansing too, so that's kind of exciting. I kind of have fangirl moments with podcasters, which sounds silly, but it's true. Like, I feel like a lot of them are so cool. Okay, another thing that I got was, you know what, I don't think I brought the bag. Okay, so I'll just show you the stitch markers on here. So I got a pack of these stitch markers. They're so cute, just little like baubles, beads. This was also a granted wish from, on Instagram, she is L. Jezen. She's Knit, Read, Pray. She was awesome. She sent me these also very quickly for the granted wish thing. And this is the card. She does not make them. She purchased these, but here's the maker. They're beautiful, and I'll show more next time because I'm pretty sure I'll be using them a lot because I really like their simplicity. I just think they're fun. So, and then the last thing I got was this yarn. Isn't it beautiful? I have to figure out what to do with all this. So I asked, one of my wishes after I graded stuff was for sparkly yarn. I've never had sparkly yarn. So this was gifted to me by ATX Alice on Instagram. And it is Holiday Yarns, Silver Sock Fingering, and her Black Widow colorway. So I'm excited about these. I might make these into a pair of something, like maybe Hermione's Everyday Socks. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'll do with them yet. I guess it will sit and linger until I figure it out. So yeah, thank you for that, Skein. That was so nice. And that was a really fun thing on Instagram, the get your yarn wish granted hashtag, because it was so cool to see all these wishes being granted. It was so fun. So yeah, so after that I wanted to, I keep taking deep breaths because I can't breathe. Okay, I wanted to also talk about one thing dream knitting, and that is a thing that I mentioned before. Sorry, I'm gonna take a drink. I mentioned that I want to knit the Mazzy sweater. And again, I forgot to get the designer's name. I'll get that next time. So it's called the Mazzy sweater, Mazzy. And I really need to start thinking about yarn. So I'm looking for something inexpensive, and I don't have any sweater quantities of anything. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna just look around. So if you guys have anything, any suggestions for the Mazzy sweater, any yarns that are inexpensive but nice to knit with, that would be great if you could tell me. So yeah, leave a note in the Ravelry group or here on YouTube, and let me know what you think if you have any suggestions. Okay, let's move on to podcasts that I love. So I mentioned already a few that I listen to. So I really am loving Knitterarium by Ruth. I also really love Pin Feathers and Purls with Candace. And I mentioned last time the Hooks and Books podcast. Her name is Sarah, and she's awesome. So last time I forgot her name. So this time I would tell you, Sarah at Hooks and Books is awesome. Go check her out. And I also this week wanted to bring up Jessica Ruth Knits podcast. I really like it. She's also her and her husband built a tiny house, which is so cool. So I like listening in on her podcast and seeing where they're at and their things that they have. And they have little chicks now. She also talks about fertility, infertility, stuff like that. So it's a really neat podcast. Go check her out, Jessica Ruth Knits podcast. And then a brand new one to me, and she is newer. I think she has 2 episodes out now, is the Knitting House Square podcast. And I really, really liked her. She's very sweet. And I like her podcast is really nice and very to the point, which I love when I'm watching podcasts. She's making this really cute puntilla sweater right now. And it's I think it's like a mint green. It's so cute. But yeah, you should go check her out too. Knitting House Square podcast on YouTube. So those are some podcasts that I love. I love a lot more, but I'm trying to limit myself because it's hard. I don't want anybody to feel left out, so I don't want to say too many and then leave anybody out. So there you go. So that is all the knitting things, like actual projects, stuff like that. I thought at the end today I would have a little bit of chatter and some questions. So if you want to stick around for that, it's not going to last very long. I just have a few questions for you guys. So yeah, the first thing was, of course, that I was going to have Angoras, which I believe I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. Did I mention that they were? I don't know. Okay, so I have English Angoras. They were going to be on the podcast with me today, but it was difficult to manage it. So look for them next week. I've had Angoras for, I don't know, really like 6 years now. So, yeah, they're so fun. And I grew up on a sheep farm, actually. Even my friends who aren't knitters who are watching this, just because, probably don't know that about me. I did. I grew up on a small sheep farm, and my family raised Romney sheep and Shetland sheep. So the Angoras are kind of like the city girls fiber. I don't know. They give that to me, the growing of fiber, I guess. So yes, and I'll talk more about that when they're actually on the podcast. I did want to talk about the Ravelry group. For those of you who are on Ravelry, if you go to the Freshwater Purls Knitting Podcast group, please join and say hello. I'd love to meet you and learn a little bit about you. And also, I'm kind of trying to figure out ways to make it to be more active on it within our group. Like, I'm trying to think if I should have a knit along, if it's too early because there's not very many people. I don't know what to do. So look for something there. And if you have any suggestions, if you've had a group before and have suggestions on where to start, let me know, because I kind of don't know what to do with it. Yeah, so there's that. The knitting or Freshwater Pearls knitting podcast. Go check it out on Ravelry. And if I didn't say so before, which I don't think I did, you can find me. I'm hopefulmee on Ravelry, HOPFULMEE. And I am Freshwater Pearls on Instagram. So find me there and say hello. One more thing that I wanted to talk about was teaching kids to knit. And this is a question. I know nothing about teaching kids to knit. But my daughter has recently shown interest in knitting. I tried to teach my son to knit about this age. She'll be 4 in April. He wasn't interested at all, so it didn't go very well. He's kind of just, I don't even think he remembers that I tried to teach him. But my 3-year-old has been asking to learn, and I'm wondering if you guys have any suggestions on when you would start teaching a child to learn to knit, what you would start with, what needles you would start with. Since they do have smaller hands, I'm just not sure what to do, and I really want to make it as easy as possible for her to learn. She is quite good with her hands, like motor function. I don't know that she'll be able to learn at this age, but I also don't want to not let her. So I don't know. If you have any suggestions for that, please leave a comment in the Ravelry group or YouTube here, down here in the YouTube comments, because I would love to hear your suggestions. I think that's all for today. I think I went a little bit longer than last time, so hopefully it's not annoying. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining me. It does mean a lot to me that you have taken time out of your day to sit here, and you're probably knitting as you watch this. So it means a lot to me, and I am excited to catch up on podcasts that I have been missing, especially for Vlogmas, which lots of podcasters are doing Vlogmas this year. So if you haven't checked those out, do check it out, because it's pretty neat. But until next time, I guess hopefully I meet you in one of our groups or the YouTube channel, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay. All right, here's the homestead shawl. I'm going to spin so you can see it. Is it laying flat? My husband is taking a video of this, so I'm talking to him. Okay. I also have worn it. You start it in the corner of your shoulder there. Pop it up. Like that. Let's see. I can't do it without a mirror yet. There's that. And then if you live somewhere cold, like me, it feels good when you wear it more like a scarf. So yeah, so there's that. If you have any more questions, let me know.